Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros, at your service. Today I will be reading the September 20th Facebook post and making a few comments on it, and I trust it will assist both of us on our journeys. Here we go. Every judgment wounds us. Every judgment of a brother or sister wounds us. Imagine eating ice cream versus a salad, or even some fast food compared to a healthy meal. If you're in the present moment paying attention, you can immediately feel what food does to your body. If you're in the rat race, not attuned to your body, not paying attention, you might not notice the difference at first. Yet over time you will see, feel, and understand the difference. Same goes with judgments. Just as high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, heart disease all result in large part from the food choices we make over time, so too does sadness, depression, anxiety, and hopelessness result in large part from the thoughts we fuel our life with. A judgment here, a judgment there. No big deal, we say. Yet over time we see, feel, and understand what it is we're doing to ourselves. The more knowledgeable and present we are, the quicker we will choose to stop putting man-made processed poisons into our bodies. And I am here to witness that judgments, as little and insignificant as they may sometimes appear, are as poisonous to the body as the fast foods many choose to consume. Many of us have scales, weight scales, and we might weigh ourselves every day or every week. I usually weigh myself once a week, and if I'm a few pounds over what I want to be, then I make corrections for the next week. And that's somebody who's interested in staying somewhat healthy. Let's call it healthy. I'm interested in my health. And but there are people who are not paying attention to themselves or are caught up in this whole rat race. And imagine just with 500 calories a day more, which is 4 tablespoons of olive oil a day more, that's a pound a week that you gain. And after 52 weeks, after a year, that's 52 pounds you might have gained over that year simply from those 500 calories a day more. And so you see, the more present we are, the more aligned with what we desire, the more in tune we are with ourselves and what we want in this life, the healthier choices we will make. And when we're not making healthy choices, the quicker we will correct ourselves. And so when it comes to judgments, a lot of people are not very present to what their judgments do to them, and how those judgments, that anger, that resentment, that jealousy, how that affects your brain and the chemicals in your brain and your body. And so when you're not present, when you're just in the ego's rat race, you experience all these emotions, these jealousies, this resentment, these angers, and you do nothing to correct it. And so little by little, you start to feel quicker to anger. You start to get more resentful, more jealous, more anxious, more stressed. And 6 months, 9 months pass by, and you have depression, and you have very negative thoughts about yourself. And so none of that had to happen if we were more present, or if we choose to become more present during our days. And so something I like to do is I like to take note, mental note, of my interactions when I interact with an individual, and see what I could have done more lovingly, or could I have been more patient, or could I have been more kind, or was I too judgmental with that individual, or too quick to anger. And at the end of the day, you can also have a diary and put, person X, I was too impatient. Person Y, I should have been less angry with that person. And then make self-corrections. Say, okay, tomorrow when person X appears, I'm going to be less judgmental and more patient. When person Y appears, I'm going to try and make that person smile, and I'm going to try and have a more joyful interaction with that person. Even with yourself, it's very important to take note of what you're saying to yourself and how you're thinking, because there's nobody in this world, believe it or not, who will speak to you more than you do during your lifetime, silent as that may be. And so when you're constantly putting yourself down, it might not seem like a big deal for a few days, maybe even a few weeks or even months. But sooner or later, your self-esteem goes down the drain, and you're depressed, and you don't feel like doing anything, and you're starting to wonder why. Why is that? And it's simply because you haven't been paying attention to what you're doing to yourself and what you're saying to yourself and what you're thinking. And so when you're having negative thoughts about yourself, don't judge yourself for that. It's just part of our growth. But simply correct it. Correct the thoughts within your mind to be more loving, more self-loving. Because in truth, that's what we are. We are love. And we're just going through this journey to remember this, that we are love, that we are kindness and compassion and joy and peace. And so let us support those thoughts that support those things in us. Let us support loving, self-loving, kind, generous thoughts of ourselves and others. And the more we do, the less judgments we have, the freer we will be, the happier we will be, the more joyous we will be. And our conscience will be clear. And our journey will be a lot smoother. And again, when we're judging ourselves, let's not judge ourselves for judging ourselves. Let us simply correct ourselves, correct our illusions, awaken ourselves to our true selves. And we simply do that by being present. Being present during an interaction with a brother or sister, taking mental note after the interaction, and maybe putting it in your diary what you can do better or what you can do more lovingly at the end of the day. And you can have a list of the people and how you want to better interact with them next to it, and those can be your goals for the next day. And equally so, you can put yourself there and say, well, I was being very negative towards myself today, and then next to it say, how am I going to stop this negativity when it happens, and how am I going to shift this thinking to one that really supports me. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you would be so kind as to like or comment on the video, it would help with the listing process, and it might help somebody find this video someday who the video might be useful for. If you would like to share, I would appreciate that. Share the video. If you'd like to leave me a question, I would be delighted to try and offer a response. And finally, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube videos, I would love to have you in this community. Again, thank you for your time. I love you very much. Let's pay attention. Let's become present today. And let's offer self-love and love to our brothers and sisters. Thank you. I love you. And God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.